Master of Ceremonies for our Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Today is a day to celebrate as we honor 3 individuals for their accomplishments and their influence on the history of athletics at Southwestern. We recognize them as the best of the best from an institute with a long tradition of excellence in competitive sport. They represent everything that's great about being an SU Pirate, and they serve as an example for our current athletes to follow. We're fortunate today to be joined by our university president. I've presided over many Hall of Fame events, and they always feel more special when the campus CEO joins in for the festivities. President Charline, thank you for what you do to support our students as they pursue their academic and athletic dreams. Thank you. Here at Southwestern, the Department of Athletics reports up through enrollment management and strategic recruitment. With varsity athletes comprising more than 1/3 of the student body, it's a natural place for athletics to be housed on campus. We are fortunate to have a strong advocate for athletics in the Vice President's chair. Tom Delahunt is here today to celebrate with us, and we are grateful for his undying support for Pirate athletics. Thank you, Tom. We also have a pretty significant number of previously inducted Hall of Famers. If you are currently enshrined in the Southwestern University Athletics Hall of Fame, please stand to be recognized. You also can't choose your Hall of Famers without a Hall of Fame selection committee. We have several committee members here with us today. If you are a committee member, please stand to be recognized. Okay, we're going to take a break and we're going to enjoy lunch. Once we have finished eating, we will resume with the formal presentation of our Hall of Famers. Please enjoy your meal. Okay, I think it's time to get started. I see some folks are still finishing up with their desserts, but I've got a couple of quick things to get through before we get to our first inductee. But the time is right for us to get going here. One of the things I really like about the way Southwestern handles their Hall of Fame is that the induction classes are very small. It really helps to ensure that we only induct people who are truly deserving of the recognition. Many of you know I was the athletic director at the University of Maine for several years before I came here. In my very first year there, the Athletic Hall of Fame was 10 people and a team. The ceremony took 5.5 hours. One inductee spoke for more than an hour about his middle school track experiences. It didn't feel special, it didn't feel intimate, it didn't feel like much effort was put into determining eligibility. We don't have those issues here at Southwestern. And in fact, all 3 of our inductees are more than deserving of this honor, and it's a pleasure to focus this afternoon's energy and attention on their accomplishments. After the ceremony, the inductees will be invited to go to the medley room in the Robertson Center. This will be the last class to do so. This is where the current plaques sit for our Hall of Fame inductees. But it's on the 2nd floor of the Robertson Center. It's very hard to find. It's an active meeting room, and oftentimes it's locked. And it doesn't feel very special that that's where the plaques are. So we're going to be moving the Hall of Fame plaques down to the arena lobby area so that people will be able to see the plaques more easily. It'll be readily available for all the events we host in the Robertson Center. And if you ever visit the Robertson Center, you'll much more easily find your plaque. This actually came to life. Pat Leonard's here today, and Pat was taking a guest up to see the Hall of Fame and walked into the room and a meeting was in progress. And it's kind of tough. It didn't feel special, so we're going to make that change. Eventually, we're going to move towards a virtual Hall of Fame. We're looking at some fundraising initiatives now. Tim Yorison, who's here with us today. Hi, Tim. Thanks for being here. Tim is our athletics fundraiser, and one of the things we're doing is we're looking at moving to a virtual Hall of Fame, which will be touchscreen technology. We'll put all the Hall of Fame items on there. We're also going to put memorabilia, game clips, team photographs, and not only will you be able to access them here on campus, but you'll also be able to access from your computers, your mobile devices, or your phones. We got to get ourselves up into the modern age, and this is a great way to do it. So we're really looking forward to that happening. Before we begin, I'd like to say a couple of quick thank yous. Our Associate Athletic Director, Glenn Schwab, is here. He's been invaluable in ensuring this event went off as planned, and I really hope everybody gets a chance to thank Glenn for the night's over. So Glenn, thank you so much for what you do. Really appreciate it. And most of you got a chance to interact with Denise Barnes when we came in today. Denise is so integral to our operation. She's always running around just to make sure everything is just right. So Denise, thank you so much for all you're doing. Our colleagues in marketing and communications were really essential in helping us put together the videos that you're going to see on our inductees. And this kind of cross-campus collaboration is something that makes Southwestern very special. You don't see it on every campus, but we're very grateful for our colleagues in marketing and communications. Our Director of Athletics Communications, Bailey Middleton, is here working the event today. He does a lot to make sure our information is correct, and he has a big hand in developing these videos as well. So thank you, Bailey. Appreciate your help. And then we've got Steve Campbell behind the camera over there. He's a real key to make sure the event runs smoothly. He oversees our athletics marketing and a lot of the promotions for this event. So thank you, Steve. Really appreciate your help. Okay, it's time to head into the formal induction ceremony. So each inductee will be introduced with a short video presentation showcasing the highlights of their career. After we've enjoyed the video, I will invite the inductee to come to the stage for a few remarks. At the conclusion of the event, we'll ask all three inductees to come to the stage to be recognized together. We will then move the three of them off to do formal photos with Kate. So we will move them out of the room. They'll do some formal photos. Once they get the formal photos done, there'll be an opportunity for family and friends to also do group photos with each of the inductees. Okay? I think we're ready to begin. All right. Bailey, we ready? All right. Today's first honoree is a class of 1988 grad and was part of what many consider to be the golden age of Southwestern baseball. He certainly distinguished himself on the field as one of the most talented and versatile players to ever wear the black and gold. Please enjoy this video introduction for Derek Kempf.
Derek Kempf came to Southwestern University from Castroville, Texas in the fall of 1984. As an outfielder, Kempf was a two-time NAIA District 4 first-team All-District selection in 1987 and 1988. In his final season with the Pirates, he helped lead his team to a 47-26 record, earning the team an NAIA postseason appearance in 1988. That team still holds the top spot in team records for a single season in slugging percentage, hits, runs scored, total bases, and home runs. In 1988, Kempf turned in a batting average of .436 with 77 runs scored, 70 RBIs, and 16 home runs. Kempf led the team in hits with 95 and doubles with 21. For his performance, Kempf received NAIA Second-Team All-American honors. His offensive prowess helped lift the baseball program to an overall record of 189 wins and 97 losses during his career. At the time of his induction into the Southwestern Athletics Hall of Fame, Kempf, a .380 career hitter, ranked in the top 10 in 12 career statistical categories. Kempf graduated from Southwestern in 1988 with a Bachelor of Arts in Business. Southwestern University is proud to welcome Derek Kempf as a member of the Athletic Hall of Fame Class of 2024.
Hey Derek, well, you made it in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. You deserve it. There's no player, I think, that played here that deserves it more than you. You were the consummate teammate, a professional. You could do anything, batting in the field, whatever. But what made you special to all of us was the way you handled the guys that were younger than you, like myself and Paul Traeger. I spent a lot of time talking to Paul about you over the last few weeks and the impact that you had on his career and mine. We shared some of the similar stories. You were exactly what you want in an upperclassman. And you taught us the way of the land. You were there for us as a brother. And man, we love you. There is no doubt in our minds and the guys that are here today that you deserve to be here. You're a hell of a ball player, man. And better than that, you're a hell of a person. But right now I'm going to ask you to look at your mom and dad because they're the reason you're here. They molded you as a kid and sent you out into the world. And we were all fortunate because of them to have you here because you had an impact on this team and what it meant to be a Buck. Love you, man. You're the best.
It is my honor to present for induction in the Southwestern University Athletics Hall of Fame, Mr. Derek Kempf. Wow, that was too much. Thank you, Pat. And thanks to whoever put that video together. It's a little overwhelming for me right now. Yeah, it's just, it's amazing. I'm not used to that, so bear with me here. You know, I know Mike Anderson remembers this because we talked about it last night. But we dropped out of speech class on the first day. And we took art history instead. And unless someone comes in here with a box of paintings that need to be identified in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm thinking maybe we should have stayed in class. But we'll see. We've got 10 minutes. Please bear with me. You know, I've been to about 4 or 5 of these Hall of Fame ceremonies over the years. I was here for Danny Cohen's, I believe. If I wasn't here, I was here in spirit. I was here for Coach Mallon's and Mike Timmons. And a couple years ago, I was here for Pat Leonard's and Phil Wellman's. And I never thought that I would be up here myself. Never. So it's just, it's really overwhelming. And I'm truly honored. Just honored. With that being said, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee. First of all, for voting for me. But second, just for being on the committee. I know it's a huge responsibility. And thank you for that. I'd like to thank Pat Leonard for nominating me and for that fine introduction. It's too much, really. You know, the fact that Pat nominated me means more than getting in. It truly does. You know, Pat was a great player himself, a Hall of Famer. And for him to think enough of me as a player and a teammate and a person, it means the world to me. Thank you, Pat. This is going to be tough, y'all. You know, speaking of Pat, he is almost the greatest home run hitter in Southwestern. I want to thank Glenn Schwab and Denise Barnes for all they did in putting this together. I know they did a lot behind the scenes. They helped me tremendously with Denise with the tickets and getting everyone situated. And Glenn did a lot. Some of my stats weren't available. They didn't think I played here as a freshman at first. But I'm pretty sure I did. But Glenn, I don't know where he found he found my freshman stats. And I think it pushed me up the list a little bit in some of the categories. So thank you, Glenn and Denise. I want to mention Shirley Miller. I don't know how many of you know Shirley. She was like a mom to many of us, and she was a huge part of my time here at Southwestern. So thank you, Shirley Miller. I don't know if Miss Mallon's here. Does anyone know? No? Well, I'm going to thank her anyway. You know, for letting us have Coach Mallon for all those years. I think Coach was a coach here for 33 years, something like that. And I know he wouldn't have been half the coach that he was, or half the man, without Miss Mallon supporting him. So thank you, Miss Mallon. Jane. You know, I'm so honored for
for my inclusion in the Hall of Fame, but I couldn't have done it alone. Yeah, I had what I considered 3 monster coaches in my baseball career. I had my dad in Little League, my uncle in high school, Spider we called him, and I had Coach Mallon in college. You know, my dad, he's right over there. He taught me all the fundamentals, just like most dads do. He taught me how to catch, how to hit, most importantly, how to run, everything. One little detail he taught me was how to track a fly ball without it bouncing around so much. And many years later, I got to teach a young Pat Leonard that same thing. And I hope it helped him a little bit. A little bit of pay it forward. But my dad was great. And then when I got to high school, I was coached by my uncle, Gerald Kempf, Spider. He's a legendary coach. He was a legendary coach down there in San Antonio area, South Texas. And I learned a lot from him. He's my dad's brother. And then, of course, Coach Mallon. I guess a lot of you know Coach. Just probably one of the greatest college coaches of all time. You know, we were always prepared. There was hardly ever a situation in any game that we weren't prepared. He was great. He was a great man and a great coach. You know, not many people can say this, but I was coached by 3 Hall of Famers. Coach Mallon was an NAIA Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame coach. He's also in the Southwestern University Hall of Fame. My uncle is in the Texas High School Coaches Association Hall of Fame as a coach. He's also in the St. Mary's University Hall of Fame as a player. And my dad, he's in my Hall of Fame. They're all great coaches. I don't think Coach E's here. I saw him last night, but I wanted to call out Coach E. He was our pitching coach. He's not here, right? But I was always a little envious of our pitchers because they got to work with Coach E on a daily basis. And Coach E was so fiery. He had those green eyes that just kind of, just bored into you. But he really got the best out of the team. And I know we wouldn't have been as good a team as we were without him. So thank you, Coach E. I talked to him last night, so. I have 2 older brothers over here that were great athletes, and I was always striving to be as good as they were. They were a little older than I was. They were better than me in everything. And I spent the better part of my young athletic career anyway, just trying to live up to them. I know I was a better athlete because of that, and I was a better baseball player for sure. Me and my brothers played every sport in high school. I came from a smaller school, and we played them all. And there was times where we were in school all together, and my parents, they made every single game, pretty much. Kind of exaggerating just a little bit. They went to every single game. I don't know how my dad didn't get fired, but he went to every single game. In college, a lot of the guys know my dad. He's a chirper. Likes to get on those refs and push them. My brothers didn't come with me to Southwestern, but I found new brothers to learn from when I got here. I came in the golden age. When I got here as a freshman, I had 3 senior outfielders who were probably 3 of the best outfielders to ever play here. They're not here today, but Rodney Kazi, Brady Bohannon, and Terry Ebner. Scrub, we call them. They were studs. Better than I was, for sure. And I remember Coach Mallon telling me, just go out there and learn from Kazi. That's what Coach did. And that's what I did. I just learned from Kazi. Kazi was probably the best defensive center fielder that ever played here. He was so smooth, great athlete. He reminded me of my brother Ben. But I learned a a lot from Rodney. I love Rodney. I think the world of him. And then Brady, I spent some time in left field with Brady too. He was a hitting machine. He's the all-time hit leader at Southwestern University to this day. He was just a line drive hitting machine. He taught me a lot too. I remember he taught me how to throw, which is kind of important for an outfielder. And Scrub, I was actually kind of scared of Scrub, to be honest. You guys know he was intimidating, but he turned out to be a really great guy, and I learned a lot from him as well. But I just want to say those three guys, and really everyone on the team, they went out of their way to help me, and I'll always remember that. After those three guys graduated, it was great for me because they were gone. I thought I got one of the outfield positions, center field. I thought I was going to be the center fielder for the next 3 years, no doubt about it. But then we got this kid from Georgetown named Donnie Sheldon. And Donnie was a middle infielder at first. He came in as a shortstop, I believe. And I don't know if it was his infield play or my outfield play, but he became the center fielder. I could go to the right. And Donnie, I mean, I wasn't mad about it at all. I do what I could to help the team. But Donnie was like, I don't know if you guys know Mike Trout. He was like Mike Trout before Mike Trout. Just an amazing athlete right here from Georgetown. He's kind of like Mike Trout and Pete Rose wrapped up into one player. He was at 100 miles an hour, be crashing into fences, diving for balls. I wish he was here today. He was just, him and Rodney Kazi are two of the best outfielders that I ever played with. Thank you guys for bearing with me here. Donnie, I ended up rooming with Donnie and Mike Anderson right over here. Mike was one of the best pitchers to ever play here at Southwestern. He had the best stuff. I don't know if anybody ever seen Mike play. He ended up having a great minor league career and played in the big leagues for a little while also. But he was the toughest pitcher I ever hit against. Great stuff. Curveball, slider, fastball, change, everything. I was scared to get off of him, to be honest. Luckily, I didn't have to do it much. But it came out, became great friends. And I was so proud of him when he made it to the big leagues. I don't know how many people I told over the years that I got to play with Mike Anderson. I was his roommate. So, I played with a lot of other great guys as well. I'm honored to have played with and call my friends. I'm just going to name a few of them. I got Mike Timlin back there, fellow Hall of Famer, 4-time World Series champion, just a stud. Brad Baker, right over here, workhorse. Brad Baker he'd go out there every 5th day, his arm be falling off. He'd still do it. Just a workhorse. Danny Cohen, he's my idol. And like I said earlier, he's the greatest home run hitter Southwestern history. Sorry, Pat. Played with A.J. Wozniak. A.J. played here 1 year, got him from St. Edwards. He's the all-time single-season home run hitter, I believe. He probably would have broke all of you guys' records. James Mills, another Hall of Famer. He was just a dog. He's a legend in my mind. Mike Petronella over there. He's a great competitor. He was my brother for a couple of weeks when I was a pledge for one of the fraternities here. Unfortunately, I dropped out after a couple of weeks. Maybe fortunately. Pete and Paul Wellman, brothers of the great Philip Wellman, and stars in their own right. Kevin, I hate to be the harbinger of bad news, Kaliski. Remember that? The clouds are rolling in. We got rain for like 2 days, and was in the district tournament. Paul Traeger and Todd Mance, two young freshmen that I didn't play with too much, but I knew they were going to be studs. Trying to help them out when I could. Skipped over Juicy, man. Jeff Juicy, all tournament team at the World Series. And I always looked up to those guys that made it to the World Series. It's an accomplishment. Tommy Collins, Tommy owned third base. You don't remember that? He walked around like he owned that third base. He was just such a confident guy, great player. I'm almost done here. I'm sorry for taking up so much of your time. There's so many other guys. I hate to mention those guys, but everybody I played with, I considered like brothers to me, like my two brothers over there. And I'll remember everyone. And finally, a huge thank you to my family and friends who came here to support me today. I got my mom and dad over there, my big sister Andrea, my brother Ben and his wife Jen, my brother Craig, fastest guy I know, and his wife Kim, my best friend from high school Dwayne, and to this day, my girlfriend Rose right here, and two of the favorite people in my whole world, my daughters Chloe and Cassidy. Thank you all. Again, this is a great honor, and I thank you all for being here. It makes this award so special. It's better than the award itself, believe me. Now, I just want to end with this one little story, I guess. I had to track down some of my stats, right, because they were lost. And I came across this. We used to put out these pamphlets, or the university did, every year. I don't know if they still do, but it had this was 1989, the year after I graduated. Had all the players, the positions, and had the players that graduated and notable losses from the year before. So I was looking at this. I came across pitching. I need to take the plastic off for this. Key losses: Mike Anderson, 7-5. Brad Baker, 8-2, 2.87 ERA. That's awesome. Infield: Andy Landry. He wasn't even a senior, but they said key loss. He hit 305 that year. Get down here to outfield. Key losses: none. It only took 35 years or so, but I finally got the recognition I deserved. Thank you all. God bless.
Now I'm getting a little nervous that Pat's going to organize a home run hitting contest after this. He's not going to be second to anything, I'll tell you what. Oh, all right. For our next inductee, I think many of you know that volleyball really has a storied tradition in the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference. And it was not uncommon in the 2010s to see 3 SCAC teams in the NCAA tournament. Today's next inductee was one of the driving forces behind this excellence in volleyball, both at the SCAC and at Southwestern. Please enjoy this video tribute to Samantha Lingamfelter.
Samantha Lingamfelter arrived at Southwestern University in the fall of 2006 from New Braunfels, Texas. In her first season, she led the Pirates defense, earning third-team All-SCAC honors, and was the only libero to earn all-conference honors that year. She was second in the conference in total digs with 685 and averaged 5.27 digs per game. Lingamfelter was a 4-time All-Conference selection, winning Back Row Player of the Year 3 times in 2007, 2008, and 2009. Lingamfelter was named Honorable Mention All-American back-to-back years in 2007 and 2008. In 2009, she was named captain and led her team to the national tournament while earning third-team All-American honors that season. Lingamfelter finished her career with a total of 2,856 digs, ranking her at the top of Southwestern's records and second most in SCAC history. Her career average of 5.15 digs per set also ranks her first at Southwestern and fourth in SCAC record books at the time of her induction. In January 2021, the SCAC named her to the SCAC 30th anniversary team. Lingamfelter graduated from Southwestern in 2010 with a Bachelor of Arts in Mathematics and Spanish. Southwestern University is proud to welcome Samantha Lingamfelter as a member of the Athletic Hall of Fame Class of 2024.
It is my honor to welcome Samantha Lingamfelter to the Hall of Fame. As a libero, oftentimes her role is not truly appreciated outside of our sport and its players. So it's really heartening to see that she's being honored in this way as not just one of the best defensive players, but as one of the best athletes to ever wear a Southwestern volleyball uniform. Beyond her accomplishments on the court, which are many, she also had a calm confidence about her, and the way she competed just elevated our entire team. It's also why she's one of the best leaders I've ever coached. So I want to welcome her to the Hall of Fame. It is a much deserved honor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now honored to present the induction from the Southwestern University Athletic Hall of Fame, Samantha Lingamfelter.
Wow. I also feel overwhelmed. Thank you. In sports, they teach you about emotional control and keeping your emotions in check, but I've lost and forgotten all of that. I am a softie, and so I'll probably get a little teary-eyed here. But it really is an honor to be standing here today. It's funny because only a few people in this room actually know that I've had no interest in playing volleyball initially. I was 11 years old, I was a soccer player, and I was not interested in this girly sport called volleyball. And then over time, so similar to Derek, I had some great coaches, amazing coaches, and here we are today, celebrating my success in this sport that I wasn't really keen on trying. So I'm really, really grateful that God knew what was best for me, and that I would have not just fun and success, but friendships that have lasted and that that have really, really blessed me. So I do want to thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me. I recognize that I am one of many really worthy considerations, and so it does mean a lot to be selected. And to Glenn and Denise and Bailey for your hard work. This is, I know, a lot of work to put an event like this on, and of course to Southwestern for hosting it. To really celebrate athletes like us, it means a lot. I'm not going to say how many years later, but to be thought of and remembered is really special. So thank you. I want to thank my family and some very special friends that are here today, and especially my teammates, some of whom came from states away to be here, and I know I recognize that you all have given up time to be here to celebrate me and this, and I'm really, really touched, and I thank you for that. I am humbled and I'm honored, and I do give all glory to God for the gift that was volleyball, and specifically volleyball here at Southwestern. And I would like to say thanks to the statisticians. I didn't know half of what I had accomplished until 3 months ago. So I had no clue, except for maybe the player of the year or the back row player of the years. But that's exciting, so way to go, whoever keeps track of that. So I do thank God. I do thank Him for blessing me with athleticism and the joy that comes from it. I thank Him for strengthening me through the many hard practices and stressful times that were had, for blessing me with parents that cheered me on and sacrificed a lot of time selflessly. Especially my mom. Thank you for all of your, I don't know if y'all have ever been to volleyball tournament in a gym for hours and the whole weekend, but that is a true act of love, because if you're not playing or coaching or really a part of it, it can be kind of draining. So thank you, Mom, for your support. For my brother and sister who couldn't be here today, but to my brother, those of you who have close siblings, you know what an encouraging word from them can mean, and so Peter, I do thank you for that. For the opportunity to play for this school that's not just an incredible academic institution, but one that is an atmosphere that is so supportive of athletes. It really did feel like a family being here. And my teammates, Audra, who last year we got to celebrate at the same time. I wish she could be here today, but I would say Audra, Jill, Taylor, Kayla, the outsides whose hits in practice made me absolutely better. Thank you for challenging me. To LB, or Lauren and Lindsay, for protecting my face from getting clobbered. So thank you for setting a good block in the middle. Appreciate that. And to Kink, who was a teammate and a coach, thank you for just your encouragement. And then Reese also couldn't be here today, but she was another DS, short little girl on the back row with me. Y'all's camaraderie really made it fun. Even more fun to play. I'd say Marie and Christina, our other setter, who I would credit them with several of the digs. You know, they get to my passes and make it an actual dig as well. So thanks, Marie. And then many more teammates who pushed me really to play my best. I would say thank you. Thank you, God, for Coach Long for recruiting me. You know, I wasn't interested in playing college volleyball, and she walked up, you know, and said, you know, just consider this. And if you hadn't done that, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have had all of these amazing experiences. And so thank you for recruiting me and making us the team that we were, which our team, in short, was a really unified team that had each other's backs, that were selfless, and we knew how to motivate one another as well. The times we had together, to be honest, I don't remember a lot of them because my niece and nephew will tell you my memory is not the best. But the memories I do have are incredibly fond. They're full of laughter and fun, and that made being a Buck or a Pirate, but we say go Bucks, so say go Bucks, this place is a really special place to belong as an athlete. And I would be remiss if I did not mention Dr. Munt and her presence at our games. Where is Dr. Munt? I would be remiss if I did not mention you and say thank you for your remarkable job. You made every student athlete feel supported regardless of our performance, and that is a gift, and thank you for using it. For my professors, I think one of them is here, Dr. Chapman. I had him in some math classes back in the day, and for your patience for us athletes who had very busy schedules, that is a huge gift for us. And so for all of these and many things that I probably forgot, I am very thankful. And you know, there wasn't one story necessarily that stood out to me, but more of a collage of memories of inside jokes, van rides, and of course, winning conference. Woo! These memories are ones that I will cherish forever, and celebrating this honor is just as much of a celebration for our team and coach. Congratulations, well deserved, and this school. And it makes me think of a phrase that I would like to pass along. That is, comrades are better than friends. And in my time here, I had the best. So thank you all.
You heard Samantha mention Dr. Munt, and it's great that Glade is here. She was, I think, many of you know her from her days as an athletic director, but a lot of you might not know she was very much an award-winning volleyball coach prior to moving into the AD chair. And so this is a great night for her to get a couple of volleyball players going in. And one thing I can tell you for sure, she knows how to hire volleyball coaches. And that's going to be made true, especially when you meet our next inductee. So I met our final inductee in September of 2007. I was the athletic director at Colorado College. I was in my first year there at that time. And the volleyball rivalry between CC and Southwestern was kind of reaching its peak right about then. It was getting pretty heated. It was great. And Southwestern's coach at that time, right after I met her, I just really liked her as a coach because she had those great characteristics that all coaches have. She knew her X's and O's inside and out. She had incredible team chemistry. You could just see it the way her team interacted with each other. And she personally just showed an unbridled joy about the game of volleyball. Just that enthusiasm shone through every time she was on that court. So I hope you enjoy this tribute to Coach Hannah Long.
Hannah Long was hired by the Southwestern Athletic Department in 2004 as a first-time head coach to lead the Pirates volleyball program. Long's coaching talents led to immediate success at Southwestern. She was named Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference Coach of the Year in 2005, later receiving the honor 4 more times in 2008, 2009, 2011, and 2014. In her 12 years at Southwestern, Long led the program to a 362-94 overall record, which included 3 conference championships in 2005, 2009, and 2015, elevating the Pirates to a top 25 NCAA Division III program. Long produced 9 AVCA All-Americans and 5 SCAC Player of the Year recipients, along with being named AVCA South Region Coach of the Year in 2009. Coach Long brought the Pirates to the NCAA Regional Tournament 10 times, including 6 regional semifinal appearances and 2 regional finals, with the highest national ranking of 9th in the final AVCA poll in 2008. Coach Long's team still holds single-season records with the most conference wins, with 17 in 2005, and the most consecutive wins, with 32 in 2009. Hannah Long's phenomenal work ethic on and off the court led to her promotion to Senior Woman Administrator for the Athletic Department in 2012. Long left Southwestern in 2016 after 12 successful seasons to become head coach for Queen's University in Charlotte, North Carolina. Southwestern University is proud to welcome Hannah Long as a member of the Athletic Hall of Fame Class of 2024.
Hannah, congratulations on your induction into the Southwestern University Athletic Hall of Fame. You did such a great job for us building our volleyball program into a national contender. You've come a long way from that young grad student that I hired so many years ago. Wishing you continued success with your coaching career.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present the induction in the Southwestern University Athletic Hall of Fame. Hannah Long.
Well, as you see, I did not bring the purse up with me because I've determined I'm much better at developing game plans than I probably am at developing speeches. So we'll go from that. There are so many people to thank that if I started that type of list, I would inevitably leave somebody off. But with events like this and things that we do in athletics, it's always a team effort. From the top down, from the president of the university to the support staff that we have around campus. It is always a huge team that brings together these smaller teams. And so thank you for everyone that was a part of this team to bring this event together, because I will say I'm humbled is the easiest way to describe it. I always say a joke. People always would ask me before games, like, hey coach, you ready? And I'd be like, well, I don't have to be ready. I'm not gonna touch the ball. Like, I'm not gonna score a point. I'm not gonna put the ball in play. Like, despite my feeling, you know, coaches are kind of control freaks, I don't necessarily have control in those moments. And I thought a lot about, because you're supposed to tell stories as a coach, some of the great stories from your experience, and I thought about some of my, you know, fondest memories as a coach here. And they're actually memories of when it was hardest, maybe, to be a coach. You know, for instance, and Rachel Kincaid may or may not remember this, but we're driving to San Antonio to play Trinity. Conference championships on the line. Southwestern hasn't beat Trinity in a really long time. And our senior middle can't find spandex. Yeah, like, well, that's part of your uniform. How do you not have part of your uniform with you? You know, and then as a coach trying to manage that, having a vision of driving into a Walmart parking lot to get your players some spandex, or later on when, you know, my assistant coach comes running up to me at NCAA's and goes, Nikki doesn't have her shoes. I was like, what? Nikki doesn't have her shoes. I was like, where are her shoes? And I was like, well, get in the car and go get her some shoes. I don't know, like, those are some of the memories that I have that aren't necessarily those triumphant moments that you think of, but those moments that you have to manage. And then, for those of you that were in the locker room at this time, one of my funniest memories with our team was when we had a very tough loss, and at the end of the game, I said, well, do I just need to be more punitive with you guys in practice? And the looks on their faces, I was like, oh my gosh, they don't know what punitive means. And so then, that even made me madder. And I said, I go, find the root word. And I watched one of my players go, punis. And I could see them trying to envision how I was going to get swallowed. And then I said, to punish. Do I need to punish you? No. You know, and those are some of the memories that I carried, because the memories of triumph are more a feeling. And I remember the moment with our program when that rival down south, which was a rivalry on a regular basis, still can't wear maroon, but when we walked into the gym, and I knew we were the better team. I knew it. And I looked across the court, and they knew it too. They knew it too. So I hope that rivalry still exists. But thank you to the players. Honestly, you do score the points. You did create the locker room that helped you achieve everything that you wanted to achieve. Thank you for going through the conditioning test. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for rolling in times when I didn't know what to say, or maybe I said the wrong things. And thank you in particular to the administration, especially to Dr. Munt. It wasn't just in times of triumph, it was in times of trouble that your support and your leadership meant the most. And so for that, just overwhelmingly humbled as a coach to be honored this way, because honestly, it's all of you that make it happen. So thank you very much.
So I need Derek and Samantha to come back up. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2024 Southwestern University Athletic Hall of Fame induction class. So we're taking them away from all of you temporarily. We're going to have them go and do the formal class photo. We're going to take that down in the Bishop's Lounge. And then we're wrapping up here. As soon as we're done, we'll invite you to join them to do photos with family. You can get any kind of configurations you want. And Kate and Bailey and Steve will make sure we get the photos out to the inductees so everybody has some nice memories of this afternoon. The Hall of Fame plaques are already installed in the medley room of the Robertson Center. It is on the second floor. Go in the door that's marked Athletic Department Entrance if you're coming from the inside of campus, or go through a door that says Field Entrance if you're coming from the baseball field side. Go up to the second floor of the medley room if you'd like to see pictures or take pictures around the plaques as they exist. This concludes our Hall of Fame induction, and I'd like to thank you for attending, and we hope to see you at Southwestern University athletic events cheering on our future Hall of Famers. Have a wonderful afternoon, and go Pirates!